So yes, we know that you know that your kids mean a lot here and you want them to have the best. So do you feel like offering the 20K signing bonuses to teachers here in the district, that's a way and a step in the right direction to retain and to recruit more here to the area?
Absolutely. This is a huge opportunity for our district for recruitment and retention, and definitely a huge step in the right direction for providing our students with the very best educators that we can provide.
One of the benefits of this particular bonus is that it highlights highly effective teacher data. So by looking at EVOS data, teachers are rewarded this particular bonus, the $20,000 bonus, if they have 2 years of consecutive, highly effective EVOS data. So bringing our students teachers who are successful in this area, this is very impactful with student learning.
Can you talk a little bit about how the money will be dispersed? Obviously, these teachers have to meet the criteria and the requirements. So will it be like in a lump sum at first once they sign on, or will it be through the 3 years, or how will that work?
So I'm not sure that we know the answer to that question at this time. It probably will be like the signing bonus that we offered previously, which was half upfront, and then upfront meaning by their first paycheck, and then the remaining portion at the end of the year. But we haven't finalized those details yet.
Can you talk a little bit about where the money is coming from? I think I read in the press release it was from some funds. Can you kind of describe that and talk a little bit about that?
So the money and the funds for the bonuses are coming from the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, for ESSER is what it's called.
And specifically, could you explain who qualifies so we are clear to our viewers at home?
Sure.
Yeah, so those that qualify for the bonus will be our elementary K through 8 teachers. Also on the high school level, we have high school math, English, and science, I believe. Yes.
And we're seeing more and more people leaving these bigger cities like New York and different areas in that aspect. Are you guys advertising there to try to recruit more people from those larger cities to come down here in this area?
Yes, this is a national campaign. So we know that this is the time of the year where people consider changing, in general, not just because of the pandemic. So we definitely are targeting those individuals, as well as heavy targeting in surrounding areas, especially those areas where the teacher pay is lower. So in addition to the fabulous pay that GCS teachers already receive, this $20,000 signing bonus is the icing on the cake.
And what has been the struggle like to find and recruit these teachers?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
What has been the struggle to find and recruit these teachers here?
So one struggle that we have faced for a long time is teacher education programs. We just don't produce the number of teachers that we really need in our schools. A lot of folks are not choosing education as their career path, and so that's always been a struggle for us.
Do you have a certain amount of teachers that can qualify for this, or like a cap or a limit, or how many exactly you might be looking to fill with this bonus?
Well, we're looking for teachers to go into our 25 highest priority schools. So once we have those schools filled, that's essentially our cap.
Do you know the number of teachers or the spots that are needed to fill there for those priority schools?
So we don't have an exact number because vacancies are constantly changing. My guess would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30, potentially more. As vacancies arise, it's just kind of a moving target. So it's hard to say what the final number might be.
And is the 20K bonus, is that strictly for new teachers, or can a teacher at another non-underperforming school apply to work at an underperforming school and get the bonus?
Yes, so current GCS teachers are eligible for the bonus. So we have, we've advertised that as soon as we knew that we were offering these 20K bonuses. So current GCS teachers are eligible.
And they have to do at least 3 years. Is that correct?
Correct.
And how many teachers are you guys still looking for to fill the need of the district?
Through the whole district, is that what you said?
Yeah, how many teachers are you guys still needing at this point?
We are working as quickly as we can to fill the vacancies. I know that all across North Carolina, districts are working also as quickly as they can. We have vacancies across all different kinds of schools, not only our 25 highest priority schools, but we have vacancies that sometimes come up in other schools, and they come in each day, but we're filling them each day, and that's the exciting part. We're finding great teachers to go into each and every kind of school that we have in our district, whether it be the levels, elementary, middle, or high, or the specialty schools that we have. And we're very proud of the recruiting efforts that we're putting in place right now.
And you guys don't have a specific number on how many you guys are looking for?
I'm trying to remember what the number is. To be perfectly honest, it is in constant motion.
Can you talk a little bit about, I know in the press release, it said that they were going to kind of look at teachers' end of grade test data and test scores. Can you kind of explain that a little bit? Are you looking at those before they would get placed in these schools, or would it be after to see how their improvements going?
So to be eligible for the signing bonus, they would need to have 2 consecutive years of highly effective EVOS data. And what that is it's student growth data according to the state's measure. So it's a very objective standard, and teachers would have to provide that. I mean, if they're Guilford County, we have that, and that would be applied before they would move into that position. It's not something that they would be able to prove after. Teachers have to have that 2 consecutive years of highly effective data prior to receiving that bonus.
So this couldn't go toward
part of their application, so they can provide the data to us in their application.
So this couldn't be a fresh, straight out of college graduate wanting to get into the teacher profession then. Is that right?
Right. These are teachers who have proven effectiveness with students.
And just for clarification, the criteria, they must also agree to work for 3 years in an underperforming school. That would be accurate?
Yes.
And is there anything else that they would need to do, I guess, to fit that criteria to be eligible? We just want to make sure we hit all the points.
Just to reiterate, it's K-8, EOG, EOC areas, high school math, biology, English tested areas. So as long as there's a vacancy in those areas, and also in the 25 high priority schools that we have identified, then, and the teacher has the highly effective student growth data, they would qualify.
Do all teachers have to be licensed? Is that a part of that too, requirement?
Right. Every teacher has to hold or be eligible to hold a North Carolina professional educator's license. And so since you have to have 2 years of highly effective data, these would be teachers who have taught for at least 2 years, but probably longer.
Thank you.
I have
And it's-
one question. Oh,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
you sure? I don't mind. Okay. I have one question, and this is the question that keeps coming back to my mind. Why $20,000? I mean, that's an awfully specific number. And is it just because, like, that's the most effective number for luring people into these underrepresented schools, or is there another reason behind it?
Probably a combination of different things. We did offer these signing bonuses, different levels of signing bonuses in the fall, early spring, to recruit to fill positions that we had during the pandemic. So $20,000 was the same bonus that those teachers got at that time who had the 2 years of highly effective data. And probably some of it is budgetary as well, trying to decide what can fit within that budget.
Do you typically see, a lot of people apply after you do these recruiting strategies? What has kind of been the reaction? Because you just, said you've done a couple of different, bonuses and things like that.
Yeah, so in the winter and spring, we did see an uptick in the number of applicants who applied for positions in the district. We definitely get several inquiries from teachers from all across, from various states, from various school districts, to inquire about the qualifications for the bonus. So we definitely see that interest level increase.
Yeah, because $20,000 is pretty significant when you think about a teacher's salary. It's life-changing.
And I know you guys didn't have that number.
number.
And I know you guys didn't have that number of how many teachers you guys need offhand. Is there a way that maybe we could get that once this ends, by any chance?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to say or add, or anything that we left out about just this bonus, or any other recruitment strategies, difficulties you guys have been, facing with, teacher shortages and hiring with the school year, I guess about a month away?
Right. This is Guilford County Schools is an excellent place to work. We have tremendous leaders in our district. Our students are excellent, our families, our community. And so we would just encourage anyone who meets this criteria, who is really interested in making a difference in the lives of our students, to apply. We would love to consider their credentials and get them started with us as soon as we can, because we do want all of our students to have a teacher on their first day of school. And we are starting school earlier, so time is of the essence, and we look forward to filling these positions with the best teachers that we can.
And we also know that it takes many positions to run a school and a school system. And there are other positions that we need to fill, and we would love for people to come work for Guilford County Schools. So right now we're highlighting the $20,000 bonus in the high priority schools, but we also would love for people to contact us if interested in working for Guilford County Schools and take a look at what we have to offer, because we have great schools and great, as Allison pointed out, great communities that surround our schools and great opportunities for growth within our schools.
One question I wanted to ask. So we don't know, I just want to make sure I understood the vacancies at this point. And if we have to wait for that number, that's okay. But I know with the pandemic and a lot of school districts, as you mentioned, are facing shortages and trying to get teachers right now. This seems like a really nice incentive. Is that a big concern, I guess, at this point, given the latest recruitment tool of filling vacancies in time, and what that number looks like? Are you seeing a lot of retirements? Are you seeing a lot of resignations?
I wouldn't say that we're seeing any more retirements or resignations than normal. It's either about the same or maybe a little less than we typically experience this time of year. The number of vacancies that we have currently is not any greater than what we've had previously. I think it's about average for this time of year, because this is the time of year when folks look at making a change. And so, but we're confident that we will get those positions filled.
Jesse, if you're trying to speak, we can't hear you. I've seen you try to go a couple times, but we haven't been able to hear you.
I was just messaging her about that.
Hello?
Yes.
Anything?
Yes.
Okay. Taking off my headphones apparently helped, which is maybe not so great for the rest of the newsroom, but I wanted to ask about kind of when this level of bonuses started. Before the pandemic, had you ever done a $20,000 signing bonus or anything at that level or around that level?
Probably the closest thing that we've done to that would be the Mission Possible or the incentive schools. We did offer, there were some of these same schools that were offered incentives for teachers to come and work there, but those incentives were not $20,000.
And what was December of last year, was that the first time that you started offering these that level of bonus?
Yeah, we began mid-November of last year, and it went through the end of this school year, or through the end of January.
Through the end of January, you say?
I think, or did it go to June?
June.
We went through June of 2021.
And those had slightly different qualifications, right, for what you could get, as opposed to, I mean, how it worked was slightly different than this version that you're rolling out now, right?
Yeah, so this is kind of the middle tier of those bonuses. So previously it was 10,000, 20,000, or 30,000. And so the 10,000, there was not a requirement for data attached to that. For the 20,000, it was the 2 years of consecutive data, and then the 30,000 was, I believe, 3 or more years.
And it's at least trying to look back at the flyer from December that I saw, it sounded like it was slightly different qualifications for who could get the bonus, or what schools were needed. It seemed like there's more emphasis on elementary school in the beginning.
Right, because that's where we had to add the positions due to social distancing. Most of it was elementary, and then we added EC, so our special education teachers, and secondary math. At, I think, four schools, the secondary math was offered.
I wanted to ask this real quick. Is this the timing of this seems as we're heading back for in-person instruction on a more regular basis for most students? Is that also why this is kind of a critical thing to do right now, to kind of really go back in a very strong point, I guess, or position?
We feel like it's really to recruit effective teachers. I don't know that it has anything to do with going back face to face, because our schools and our students were face to face. The majority of our kids were last school year as well,
So
especially at the elementary level.
The bonus then, is it for people who teach in person, or because I know there's some virtual, if I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, that's still continuing, or is
So we have We have two virtual schools. We have an elementary and a middle virtual academies, and they are not in this list of our high priority schools. But other than that, everyone is face to face.
Thank you.
And just time for one more now.
I actually have one more question then. How long is this program going to last? Is it going to, stop right when we get to the first day of school? Is it going to last a little bit past that? What's the timeline looking like for this program?
That's a great question. And one that I don't know the answer to at this moment, but we can certainly find that answer out and get that back. It's definitely going to last until we get these positions filled. That is for sure.
That works. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming today. I'll work on getting the vacancies number to you guys because I know that's what you're looking for. And we will go from there. If you have any follow-ups, feel free to send me those. And thank you guys so much for coming.